Good morning and welcome. I am so touched to be sharing the path with each and every one of you this morning. Thank you for coming out in this soft, drizzly day and spending time in shared consciousness together. I know that for many Buddhists, and probably if not all of them, as well as many of you, if not all of you, Earth Day is every day. But in the spirit of the holiday, I do want to wish you all a happy Earth Day. I was on retreat in Grand Lake, Colorado, at a place called Shadow Cliff. Of course, anywhere in Colorado is pretty much magical. And the teacher there on the retreat would take us for little walks, little hikes. The whole time, the teacher was relating laws of nature to our practice, to our awareness, to our mindfulness. And so I thought today, in honor of Earth Day, I would share those teachings with you. So if you didn't pick up one of the little sheets that have the 10 laws of nature, it's okay, don't worry. There are some on the counter in the back. You can pick one up as you go. Oh, thank you. Maka says, no, they're all gone. I will post them on the Temple Buddhist Center Facebook page. So when you go to get those, be sure and hit like so more people can find us. All right, there's 10 of them, so let's jump in. Roll up the sleeves. Oh, they're already rolled up. Number 1. Nature rewards adaptation. Nature rewards adaptation. Adaptation requires radical acceptance of what is. When you look at Darwin's study of the finches, there was like 20 species of finches living on a small island. Each finch was uniquely adapted to surviving on this island without competing with the others. So their colors, their beak formation, where they sought food, how they nested, all completely different, so that they may all live together in harmony on this island. Nature rewards us for adapting as well. Our reward for radical acceptance is peace and equanimity. Remember, the definition of suffering is the mind wanting things to be different than the way they are. When we adapt to the situation, I'm not saying it won't be painful. I'm not saying it won't be difficult. I'm saying we accept this situation here and now. And then with compassion, we can move towards a resonant experience or in a direction that may perhaps lead us to our experience. So for example, I talked about my friend who was angry that the neighbor had chopped down 2 trees and they were new neighbors. They chopped down 2 trees in their front yard as soon as they moved in, 2 maples. And we had this great discussion. There was much anger, there was a furiousness, there was a combativeness, there was, I'm going to write letters, I'm going to let them know how I feel. But for me, that brought up a lot of resistance to what truly the situation was. And with wise view, we see that this is a situation to go and plant 2 new maple trees. That's the flow of life. Engaging in creation and destruction, not fighting it tooth and nail every step of the way. Number 2, nature rewards cooperation. Some of you may understand or know that humpback whales will begin a beautiful underwater ballet. Sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 of them together will begin swimming in a circle, all the while blowing bubbles. These bubbles create a column-like net that corrals and herds the underwater shrimp or krill that they desire to have for dinner. Once they've swum in this circle and created this column and corralled all of the krill, they then swim up through the middle of it, and in this way can feast and dine together. What a beautiful sight that must be. Cooperation. Nature rewards cooperation. In the same way, when we sit together in noble silence, when we share consciousness together, when we talk about the Dharma, we chant together, we are sharing and we are cooperating, helping each other to see the big picture. In this way, we are able to see and understand our own natural perfection. Number 3, nature cures excess from within. There are many wonderful examples of this in nature. They may seem painful or difficult to us on the outside, but for example, when in nature there's too much of a particular species, like the deer overpopulates an area or the rabbits overpopulate, disease will set in and naturally thin the herd. In Colorado, the pine beetles set in and destroyed thousands and thousands of acres of lodgepole pines, but that's because all there was lodgepole pines. There was not what nature had in mind, which was a balance of many different kinds of trees and plants. So nature set in and cleared the way. Nature cures excess from within. Mocha frappuccinos. When I get an excess of those, nature cures that from within. My teacher related also this same particular instance to the fact that we find our way from within. Our journey is within, not without. All kinds of causes and happenings and things going on around us. And we look outside for happiness, for peace, in the new job, the new car, the new boyfriend, whatever the situation is. But those things are never out there. They're always within. Nature has been telling us this forever. It's why when we find ourselves in nature, we find such peace. Nature reminds us that we are perfect. There are no mirrors, no deadlines, no judgments, no commentary. We are absolutely one with nature. And the thing is it's always that way, not just when we're in it. Number 4, nature depends on local expertise. It's interesting how over the past decade or two, allergies have been on the rise. Some of you are into and understand local expertise and local agriculture and understand that when we eat the honey and the food produced in Argentina, that we're great if we live in Argentina. We have no allergies because our bodies have become accustomed to those pollens, those microbes, all of the things in that area. But when we live here and we eat the honey and the pollens and the microbes, and we eat the meat that has been devoured by local plants, when we eat those things locally, we become accustomed locally. But when we eat the food from some other place, all of a sudden we become allergic to where we live. And that's natural. There's nothing wrong with you. It's the way we're living. The Buddha taught that everything you need is right here and right now. I used to lament to my teacher that I needed to go to this workshop in Cincinnati to become enlightened and awakened. He's like, no, you don't. But there's this new tape out. It's 6 hours of mindfulness meditation. I can't move forward on my practice unless I have that. Yes, you can. New books, new teachers, new workshops. My teacher used to tease me, if you have to go sit in a cave in Tibet to get awakened, then see you later. That's where you have to go. But the truth is, nature depends on local expertise. Eckhart Tolle tells us that our soul draws to us every experience we need for its awakening. Everything that's happening right now is perfect and it's natural. It's normal. It's happening exactly as it should, when it should. But remember the definition of suffering. No, it's not happening fast enough, or it never should have happened at all, or this isn't natural, or I'm not normal. The mind fills itself with random chatter. And we forget that we're natural, that we're normal. We are a part of all of this. We are a part of creation. Number 5. Nature recycles everything. Nothing in nature is wasted. My teacher in Colorado, on our little hikes, we would walk around, he says, okay, find death. Everywhere we looked for death. Couldn't find it. Sure, there's a log laying there, but from that log was sprouting thousands of other little trees or little insects and animals. It was full of life. Physicists and scientists are now proving that nothing is destroyed. Of course, upholding the Buddhist concept that everything is in the process of becoming something else. Wow. If you really embody that, everything is in the process of becoming something else. The nature of impermanence. You're on a journey. You're becoming something else. And it's perfect. It's natural. There's nothing wrong with any of it. Some of it hurts. Some of it feels good. Sure. That's natural. Alan Watts talks about the apple tree. An apple tree, he says, with his wonderful English accent, an apple tree apples. Well, the earth peoples. It's amazing when you think about it. Think about an apple tree. It apples. then they fall to the ground, and there on the ground they become nutrients for the tree to then again apple, and this beautiful cycle continues. How is the earth any different? Do you see your place in this beautiful cycle? In Buddhism, it is the cycle of birth, death, birth, death, birth, and death. Inside the seeds of our ancestors were seeds of their ancestors. Inside of the folks to come are our seeds. We're part of the same cycle, the same process. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with any of it. It's perfect. Just like you. Number 6. Nature uses only the energy that it needs. This is number 6 on the Eightfold Path. Wise effort. I remember as a musician, when I first started, I would work so hard to write a song, and I would sit down and I wouldn't leave the desk until I had a song written. Scribble, 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 tear that up, scribble, scribble, scribble. And finally I pounded out, after 2 or 3 hours, I pounded out this song. And the song was as labored as my time was. It was only after I began my meditation practice and I simply opened myself up and just be. All of a sudden, songs, poems, stories, lyrics, words would just download right through me. I had nothing to do with it. Except try to have a pen or a recorder handy to capture them. That's all I had to do. This is effortless efforting. This is wise effort. Allowing yourself to become not the life that you choose, but to become the life that has chosen you. Effortless, easy. Number 7, nature fits form to function. Nature fits form to function. I feel that I am a wonderful example of that. I am perfect for functioning as a person who sits a lot. Nature fits form to function. And I only have really one thing to say about that in relation to our practice. And that is to simply recite the Buddha's words. So close your eyes for a moment and feel the truth, feel the resonance of these words in relation to the law of nature that says nature fits form to function. Now think about this. What we think, we become. Number 8, nature moves towards balance. And again, there are examples in nature of this. For example, the predator-prey relationship, how predators actually only seek out the slow or diseased or elderly members of a herd, thereby establishing an equilibrium, a natural balance within an ecosystem. Even looking at the planetary orbits of our solar system, there's a wonderful, interesting balance going on there. Constant balance. Truly amazing when you think about it. In the same way, you've heard the saying that when the fear of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change, you will be moved to action, but not until then. The experiences that we're drawing to our life, absolutely natural. When they come, absolutely natural. Because when the fear of staying the same becomes greater than the fear of change, you'll do something differently. Kind of looks like we're in charge, doesn't it? But we're not. There are natural laws functioning, natural laws happening. Number 9. Nature works within entire ecosystems, not its separate members. Creation and destruction is universal. Life is not personal. Nothing about it is personal. No one ever did anything to you. Some of you recall the story in the Dhammapada of the woman who was distraught at the death of her husband. And she went to the Buddha begging him to relieve her pain and suffering. And he told her, I will, but you have one task to complete first. And that task is to go to the village and find a person who has not suffered the pain of loss. So she left. She went to the village and knocked on hundreds of doors, never finding a single person who had not suffered the pain of loss. And she returned to the Buddha and she thanked him, realizing that her pain is not personal. She was feeling the pain of humanity, the pain of loss. It's pain. What she was wanting was relief from suffering because she thought her pain was personal. It's painful, yes. And it's here, yes. But it's the pain that we all feel. It's one of the things that unites us. It's one of the things that creates a sense of oneness. We cannot be there for each other if we have not felt this pain. There is a sweetness in it, and it's also natural. Number 10, and my favorite. Nature makes no judgments. There is a natural order to all things. Everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. When we bring presence to this eternal cycle, presence in each and every moment and experience, realizing it has a beginning, a middle, and an end, and holding that with an open hand. When we bring awareness to the fact that things exist and relationship and connection to all others, interconnectedness, then we begin to awaken to our own natural perfection and realize that we are not looking at or studying the 3 jewels. We are the 3 jewels. We are the Buddha. are the truth teachings. We are the Sangha. It's not who am I, it's who am I not.